she went and did the same thing. I'm really mad, but she won't know. Everything has gotta be cool when we living so cold. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting I'm gonzo, headed where the homie live, cause it's on, yo. I was chasing 3 women like I'm Mojo Jojo, so my girl got mad and she my bro. Monica, you're wrong, though. That's against a bro code. Headed to his home, though. No, we living solo. Vertebrae, got this broken to his place. It's shit in his face, yeah. From then I say it's evidence you entertain my loyalty to infiltrate. The only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. All my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up, then I again. Go. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting cold.
I'm the best, that you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go, go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, that you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. People the bank and they know I'm in prison. He wanna talk, but he not on the schedule. I ain't taking no from my boy heavy. I'm the best and you heard what I said. Spend all the money, I'm dripping, it's falling. Got on it, then it's dripping like water. Teaching but I don't have a daughter. I know me, I can pick up when I call her. Working big and it don't hurt to break, cause I'ma always do it how I wanna do it. Every time he leave the know he missed the know I got him running to it. I'ma need to pull the mouth before we talk it that I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, and I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. Top dog like I vanished. I'm the really damaged. I came out and make the channel froze. I'm really who the piano chose. Put my name up like a banner boat. Acting tough and I'ma let her go. Name her who got a better flow. She can hang it up just like a telephone. Stick me up with the cost 10K to let it come see it. Hands at me, I make it come treat it. Spin, make it come beat it. I want the new in the machine out. Jewelry be cold like the temperature 0. I'm the hardest, they call me the hero. Heavy then they know what I be on. I'm the best, that you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, that you know. And I got it, on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast and 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands. Deep up in them trenches. It's no difference.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Superdome in New Orleans. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from the Superdome. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone.
The Saints take over first and 10.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara to about the 23. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Winston. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. Corral going to bootleg it. For Marshall, that's complete. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Corral now to throw. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you get a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having... There he goes, right side. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown, Carolina. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Winston to give. It's Kamara. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Finding room at midfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
With that down and distance, no real surprise they decided to throw the ball. But I think where the surprise kicked in, the result. Short pass downfield. That ball got taken for a nice journey to turn into a big play.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. The Saints at 6 and 10 on the year, and they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Jameis now on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
Sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I'd give some credit to the defender on that one. He read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. On third down, Corral. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should shift over to offense. I've got skills. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I always find myself cheering for them after they intercept it. Unfortunately here, he couldn't make it into the end zone.
Well, defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
They were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he is going to have a Saints first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
They certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays. So he stopped for no gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Open man is Michael Thomas. And the Saints are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's good for the Saints. 1st and goal.
Here's Winston. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's a corner that got in there for the sack. Dante Jackson.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. They're just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. And I think the offense got it back. They did. Inside the 10-yard line, they avoid disaster. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
Third and goal, Winston. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front. Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone.
The Panthers take over first and 10. Their own
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 90 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
Corral. His throw incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have now allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. On second down, here's Corral. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. On first down, this is McCaffrey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd and 9, Corral. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Connor. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But with the strong safety position.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it, and the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. But when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's only able to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this 2nd half. And we will not have a run back here as the 2nd half starts with a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining 1st half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw again on 2nd down. Corral. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Corral here working from the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Marshall. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there, against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
104 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, Corral. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Carolina. Tommy Trimble, 52 yards. And the Panthers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. He'll start with a give to Kamara. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Brian Burns in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Off to Thomas on the left side. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's returnable now for Smith. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give him 5 on the return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
David Onyemata gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Well, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. And this offense, they've got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
Well, partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable.
Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
3rd and long, Corral. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Shotgun snap to Corral. That is caught. It's Anderson. Touchdown, Panthers. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Panthers have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And the lead is now 21-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
On 2nd down, Winston again. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Winston now. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you could lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Play fake. Winston. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Jeremy Chin picks it off. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. 1st down. Here's Corral with it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Corral on 2nd down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Corral, 3rd and 2. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open air.
And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Chuba Hubbard with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Tackled by the safety, Bubba Bolden.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Winston. And now here is another interception. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. Gonzalez now to have the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Makes the score Panthers 42, Saints 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 52 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First down, Winston. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jameis to throw it. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, Winston. And my goodness, another interception. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third down, Corral. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
They'll go for it on fourth. Here's Corral. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. And the Panthers turned away on fourth down. And the Saints will have the football back. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Winston now from the 50. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Another try after the first down sack. Winston. There's Chris Olave. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man...
Yeah. Sound like some superheroes. Some black superheroes. Oh, yeah. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero.
You need a role like me. Military mind stated, and I keep in a degree. You can label me a Huey P. Made a martyr out of Martin, out of Malcolm, out of Mega. I refuse to let these dirty devils make Michael a beggar. A hero CEO, I will go Magneto for my people. Give me liberty or death, that is my credo, not my ego. Dressed in a tuxedo, into party, alter ego. Killed your leader in gazebo, did it for the people. Love what motivated, I did not do it for hatred. But I truly hate the devil, I cannot debate or fake it. I was asked a question and the asker thought it hard. If I was facing death and I could ask one thing of God, I would ask for every to be free here and abroad. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God. And to be rightfully celebrated as a child of God.
Need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto. Need a black superhero. Our own kind took nip from us. Money still reading God we trust. Truthfully we envy, so why we so envious? And why our own kind envy us? Pac said it's hard, but we gotta keep our head up. Going even though we know we fed up. It's hell attention, plus we ain't careful where we all pay attention. I need all my real soldiers on the front line, fighting for the right just one time. So unstoppable together at the same time. same mind. Yeah, we're born to be high and always above what's beneath us. So every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto need a black superhero.
I'm talking bulletproof, kind of suit, reflect the struggle that they put us through. With the strength to fight the power like Chuck D do. With the insight to be equal. Note the sky needed a voice that finds reason to multiply. People in the streets for the cause. Marching on Washington miners will be walking through walls. Type of superhero show up when ain't no one to call. That'll shield you from them shields that been killing us all. High beams for eyes to peek the villains in the dark. Power of resolution for a war would even start. The knowledge to build and grow where they live and take care of the kids and the older folk. The clean cause they need it most. Politics with the kings. About economic growth. Cure PTSD. Cause mental health ain't a joke. Feed the hungry and dope. Everyone would know. Everywhere we go.
Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto need a black superhero. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto need a black superhero. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust me. Just to get that way to know that. I got you back now, I got you back, I know. It's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take love and a lot of trust me. Just to get that way to know that. I got you back now, I got you back, I know. Every block, every hood, every city, every ghetto need a black superhero.
Bigger, better, petty, don't matter. Far as that tell us chatter, I pray to God they rattle tattle. Hey, what's a rapper? I started off that, now a better. I get capital. I help my people to get cheddar. I do business. Look here, stay out my business. I'm so iceberg slimish, stainless, not a blemish. I should've been to prison. Don't boy remorse, no cases pinned. I got the rolling flooded, soaking wet, but ain't been swimming. I'm the man now, ain't I? Work a plan now, can't I? I remember when you lame player, hated a player, now the same lame player. They call a player mayor. Say, what you talking that funky, about my face, wearing that monkey. We not that might give you life advice. Get some money.